Good morning, Hustle Nation. Today, we're talking how to go from passion project to profit business, right? When it starts to get real and you're ready to take it to that next level, how do you know? What do you do? I'm going to give you some questions to ask yourself to help you determine when it's time to make that leap from, hey, man, this is a hobby, this is just a passion, this is something I just like to do. No, when do you turn it into a full-fledged, for-profit enterprise? That's what we're talking about today. So do me a favor, smash that share button. Go ahead and comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand for a free business shout out. And we're going to go ahead and get this show rocking and rolling. Let's do it, people. Yo, what's up, Ultimate Hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite followpreneur from MonetizeMyLifeAcademy.com. Ladies and gentlemen, if you know good and doggone well that you have knowledge that is valuable and you want to turn that into a digital product, build a brand around it, and start marketing it online, then you, my friend, want to check out the digital product bootcamp. It's going down next week. All you got to do is comment Bootcamp, and I'll make sure you guys get the link to go ahead and get registered for that. Just $47. You will walk out of that thing with 7 different ways that you can turn your knowledge into digital products or information products and build a brand around and start marketing online. Do me a favor, man. If you have not already shared the stream, go ahead and hit that share button. And let's have a real conversation about how to actually take your passion project and turn it into a profit business, right? You guys know we got the question of the day. We've got the 1 minute motivation. Ray Wilkinson, good morning. Drop the name of your podcast, Ray, because I know you're doing your thing. Brittany Thomas, are you a business owner? If so, drop the name of your brand. Just do not post any links. So really quickly, let me give you the question of the day before I get into my announcements. The question for today is, what is your number one passion? And if you answer that question with QOTD, then your name gets entered into a drawing, and we do our drawing on Wednesday. So today at noon, you could win a free vacation. Question of the day, what is your number one passion? Answer with QOTD, and then give your answer if you want to be entered into the drawing. A couple quick announcements. Again, for my single mothers out there, if you want to expand your cash flow and add a stream of income to your household, then you've got to check out our First Ladies of Finance. It's going down tonight, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to be sharing with you exactly, right, how you can get your credit up, how you can get your debts down, how you can get your taxes down, how you can get your investments up and start building a massive retirement portfolio. Even as a single mom, sometimes it gets a little rough and you start thinking that you cannot do certain things when it comes to finance and business. No, our First Ladies of Finance is headed up by a single mom who has built a solid 5-figure monthly residual income. And she's going to show you exactly how to do it. And if you are connected to me, I'm going to share with you how you can get involved and potentially earn a scholarship to help you get in the game. Don't forget today's drawing at noon, where we're going to be giving away a free vacation. For those of you who responded to the question of the day from last Thursday all the way up to today's show, every name goes in the hat. And we do a drawing live at noon Central, where we give away a free vacation. And then, my friend, for our digital product boot camp, it's $47, guys. But if you are a part of the Wealth Creation Playbook group, you actually get a special coupon code that gives you a massive discount. So you might want to go over to our group, Wealth Creation Playbook, look at the announcement from yesterday where I give you the link to join, to register for the digital product boot camp and the coupon for a massive discount on that, man. If you're connected to me in any way outside of just public facing like everybody else, if you decided to come into my community, then I always want to show you some love. So y'all ready? Because I am ready. You know, we like to start the show with a quote of the day. I believe in motivating and inspiring you as much as I believe in educating and helping you with tools and resources to take your business and your brand to the next level. So our quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show comes from Harley Davidson, right? And it is this: when writing the story of your life, never let anyone else hold the pen. Man, that is so deep. When writing the story of your life, never let anyone else hold the pen. It's by Harley Davidson, man. Think about that. A lot of people want to give you input. A lot of people want to tell you how to live your life, how to do your thing. Don't you subscribe to any of that stuff? At the end of the day, you have to live with the choices that you made. At the end of the day, you're going to have to take responsibility for the life that you built, the world that you have created for yourself. It's all on you, my friends. And if you're not careful, what some people do, some intentionally, but most people are not intentional with this, but they like to superimpose their limitations on you. You got to be careful about that, man. People we know, love, respect, and trust will superimpose their limitations on you, right? I remember seeing a Jay-Z interview where he talks about his uncle saying, man, you'll never sell 1 million records. He's like, I sold 1 million records like 1 million times. It wasn't that his uncle didn't love him. His uncle couldn't fathom being able to accomplish a feat so massive himself. So he was projecting that on to Jay-Z. It's a good thing that Jay-Z let that roll off like water on a duck's back. Otherwise, we wouldn't have some of the great music that we have from Hov, and more importantly, for a guy like me, we wouldn't be able to see the great business moves that he's been able to make throughout his career that led him to billion-dollar status. So, quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show: when writing the story of your life, never let anyone else hold the pen. From Harley Davidson. So do me a favor, man, comment in the chat. What is your number one passion? Right? That is the question of the day. Put QOTD, then give your answer, and you'll be entered into a drawing to win a free vacation. What is your number one passion. Speaking of passion, we're talking about today, how do you know when it's time to get serious about that passion project? If you're thinking about, man, this is something I can probably turn into a for real business, I want to give you some questions that you can start asking yourself to help you get prepared for that, right? I want to help you start really evaluating and assessing whether or not you're ready to make that move. So that's what we're talking about today on the Cortez Hustle Show. So let's start with preparation. Let's start with preparation, right? You've been doing this thing for play, right? You've been doing this thing when you feel like it. You've been doing a thing when you want to, but you absolutely love doing it. And now you're starting to think about whether or not it's time to turn that thing into a for-profit business. So are you prepared to put in the work that is necessary to create a profitable side hustle, a profitable business from that thing that you love? Are you prepared? Hey, cuz what's going on? I see Miss Virgo standing proud. That is family in the building. She says, I like teaching and helping others, right? Can you turn that, cuz, into a profitable business if you're going down that road? I most certainly believe that you can. I know you got the chops to do it. Let me help you with some questions that you can ask yourself to determine whether you want to jump out and make that thing a reality. So, are you prepared to put in the work necessary to create a profitable side hustle? Because here's what's going to happen to you. And I'm not saying this to scare anybody, but I believe, and as the young folks say, keeping it real, keeping it all the way 100, right? Makes me think about the movie Life when they were in the infirmary. And yeah, I'm just trying to keep it real. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to keep it real, right? Here's what's going to happen to you. See, you're moseying along and you're doing this thing for fun and everything is going your way. And it's like, man, this is nothing. Heck yeah, I can turn this into a business. But as the late, great Dr. Miles Monroe says, every vision must be tested for authenticity. So the minute you decide, it ain't even when you start taking the action, but the minute you decide that you're going to turn this passion project into a full-fledged business and really take it to the next level, the moment you decide that you're going to do that, you're actually calling on a test to show up in your life. Now, again, I'm not trying to scare nobody. What I want you to do, though, and take away from this is, because I've decided to do something great, then the universe is going to test me every step of the way. So let me start getting prepared for the test. That's what I want you to do. I don't want you to get scared and run away, right? So are you prepared to put in the work that is necessary to create a profitable side hustle? How will you generate the motivation necessary to get things done? Because it ain't easy, y'all. It ain't easy. How will you generate the motivation necessary, right? And if it's something that you love to do, it shouldn't be hard to generate the motivation to get things done, right? But just know that the test is coming, ladies and gentlemen. The test is coming, and it's not something to be afraid of. It's not something to run from, right? Yeah, Ray Gibson, I'm keeping it real. It's not something to run from. It's something to be preparing for, because every test is designed to elevate you to the next level, right? The test isn't designed to stop you and make you tuck tail and run. The test is to prepare you to say, hey, if you're serious about turning this passion project into a profitable business, then you're going to need to develop certain skill sets. You're going to need to develop a certain mindset. You're going to need to develop certain characteristics. And in order for us to help you develop those things, we got to put you through some fires to burn off some of the things that you won't need, some of the baggage that you've been carrying into this thing, so that you can develop the character that's going to sustain you on the next level. Every vision must be tested for authenticity. And the minute you decide that you're going to take this leap and take this thing to the next level, just know that you're also calling on some tests in your life. But welcome the tests, because they are going to help get you or prepare you for the next level, right? Ask yourself this question. Up until this point, what has kept you from turning your passion project into a full-blown side hustle or a profitable side hustle in the first place? Why haven't you already done it? Right? We're talking about from passion project to profit business. And when it gets real and you start thinking about really going to the next level, these are some questions that you have to answer. What happened today that made you say, yep, I'm going to go ahead and do it? Why didn't you say, yep, I'm going to do it yesterday or the day before or last year? When we're talking passion projects, for most of us, these passions have been in us all our lives, right? How do I know? Because there's a theory that I've been working on, just a little something I've been working on. I believe that the reason we are passionate about certain things, I believe your passion is like a homing beaker, right? And that passion is designed to guide you to your purpose. I believe God gave us these passions so that it makes it easier as we're rolling through this thing called life, that this homing beaker called a passion is ultimately going to start pulling and drawing us closer and closer to our actual purpose, why God created us in the first place. And it is in your purpose, ladies and gentlemen, where you will find your provision. Yeah. See, your passion is designed to help guide you closer to your purpose. And in your purpose is your provision. See, the God I serve didn't say, hey, Cortez, I called you to this earth to empower, to educate, to really show compassion and love and show people how to manage their resources and get the most out of life. That's why I put you on this earth. But while you're there and while you're doing what I called you to do, you got to figure out how to feed, clothe, house, and shelter yourself. No, that's not the God I serve. He said, because you're doing those things, all of the things that you need is going to be added unto you. So when you get into walking in your purpose, Cortez, don't worry about how you're going to eat. I got you. When you get to walking into your purpose, Cortez, don't worry about how you're going or where you're going to live. That comes with the purpose. When you get into walking in your purpose and fulfilling the mission that I have for your life, don't worry about how you're going to transport yourself from one place to the other. That's it. That's all built in. But here's the problem that we run into, ladies and gentlemen. Because we never figure out how to make money from our passion, we typically walk away and go do something totally unrelated so that we can feed, clothe, house, and shelter ourselves. God is saying, no, there's a reason that this thing keeps pulling at you, keep tugging at you, because if you follow this passion, it's going to lead you to your purpose. And when you start walking in your purpose, everything you need, all your provision is right there. This is why I'm big on you monetizing your life, you turning your gifts, talent, special abilities, your experiences, your expertise into profitable businesses. Because when you start doing that, it's going to draw you closer to your purpose. And when more people on this planet start walking in their purpose, that's when we're going to see this world become a better place. Now, it is 7:21, so y'all know what that means, man. It is time for 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. It's where I play a 1 minute motivational clip. You guys comment one of your takeaways. I'm going to give a couple of my takeaways, and I'll give some love and a shout out to our sponsor for the 1 minute motivation for today. So let's go ahead and roll our 1 minute motivation video. It's courtesy of the YouTube channel, Your Daily Motivation. Let's get it.
Sometimes we have to ask ourselves, what's using my life? One of the things that we know about life is that it is always changing. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Sometimes things go real well, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes you're happy, and sometimes you're sad. Now that's that thing called life. And when we begin to understand and know that, accepting that reality that we will never ever have things just on an even keel all the time, that you're going to have some ups and you're going to have some downs. But during those down moments, that's where the growth takes place. That's where the work is. Anybody can feel good when they have their health, their bills are paid, they have happy relationships, the children are acting normal. Anybody can be positive then. Anybody can have a larger vision then. Anybody can have faith under those kinds of circumstances. See, but the real challenge of growth, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, comes when you get knocked down. How you handle it, that's where the growth takes place.
Hoo-wee! Hey, how do you handle it when you get knocked down? Man, if you're going to be successful at anything in life, you have to develop your perseverance muscle, right? So a lot of people talk about persistence, but perseverance is a little different. See, persistence is I'm going to keep going in the face of obstacles, challenges. Perseverance is what do you do when those obstacles and challenges knock you on your butt? Do you have it in you to get up? So I love it. Comment one of your takeaways, man. What did you get from today's 1 minute motivation? Life is going to strike. Life is going to strike. Right? It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep going. Right? Growth happens when you're down. That's where the work is. Right? I heard someone talk about how trees actually grow the most during storms. Now, I didn't do my fact check and I didn't do my research, so I don't know exactly how true this is, but I could see a tree in a hurricane with Category 5 winds blowing, and as the winds are blowing the tree tops, the roots are down underneath, clutching the soil and growing and gripping the ground to keep from toppling over. I'm not the botanist. I don't know if that's really true, but that's the picture that I got in my head when I heard that. It's like, man, the wind is blowing so hard, so the tree has to shoot out more roots in order to hold on tight. And that's where growth happens. I don't know if that happens with the tree, but I do know that happens with you and me. Growth happens in the storms, ladies and gentlemen. Growth happens during the down moments when you decide how you're going to respond, right? I'm reading this book by Brendon Burchard called the high performance habits. And he talked about the difference between emotions and feelings and how we can control our feelings. Nobody had ever taught me this. See, anger is an emotion, but I get to decide how I feel about that emotion. And I get to decide what I'm going to do with that feeling, right? So Miss Virgo says, look back at the storms you passed through and know the ones coming will pass too. Couldn't have said it better myself, because that is 1 Minute Motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. 1 Minute Motivation is brought to you by EFI Financial Services, LLC. Exercise financial intelligence, ladies and gentlemen. So we're talking about from passion projects to profit businesses. When ish is about to get real, what do you do? Right? What do you do? I want to give you some questions to answer, right? Hopefully you guys are writing these questions down. And if you actually want my passion to profit worksheet that I'm reading from, all you got to do is comment passion, and I'll shoot you that a copy of this worksheet. That way you can actually fill it in and write down your answers and start crafting and thinking about how you're going to go from passion project to profit business. Before we continue, make sure you answer the question of the day. What is your number one passion? It's a question of the day. If you answer QOTD, then you're going to be entered into a drawing to win a free vacation. Our drawings take place on Wednesdays at noon Central. So somebody is getting a free vacation today. So put QOTD and give me your answer. What is your number one passion, right? So we asked, are you prepared? Are you prepared to put in the work to create a profitable business? How will you generate the motivation necessary to get things done? What has kept you from starting your side hustle to this point? How can you overcome that, right? I think Cuzzo answered time, fear, and putting others first. Man, if that ain't the truth, right? Especially when it comes to our women. Man, our women. I have an associate that I was connected to a couple years back, and he taught me that 99.99% of women have an identity crisis. 99.99% of all women have an identity crisis because they derive their identity from what they do for everybody else. Their identity is wrapped up in their children, and then their identity gets wrapped up in their mate. Their identity gets wrapped up in their work. No, those are things that you do. It's not who you are. And then when the children get grown and gone, they start thinking about finally spreading their wings and fly. But then the children start having children, and then they do the same thing all over again. They pour themselves into their grandchildren. And they never define who they are. Right? So that's a real thing, because I know it is a serious thing. We got to figure out the balance in how can I define me while still being who I need to be for other people, right? So how would your life change if you were doing work that made you happy? If the way you brought in your money, every moment that you're executing those tasks, it just brings you joy and happiness, how would that make you feel? These are questions you ask if you're trying to figure out, Cortez, should I take this passion project, this gift, this talent that I love? I just love teaching and educating. I just love helping other people, right? Should you turn that into a full-fledged business? Well, ask yourself, how would your life change if you were doing work that made you happy? What would your best life look like? write out a vision of your life. If all of your money that came to take care of your household bills came from you doing this thing, right? I love talking to y'all like this, right? It's my passion, because I've been put on this planet to empower others. That's why I'm put here. Specifically in the area of stewardship of your gifts. How do you, right? The book I read, the Bible, says your gift will make room for you. But that same book also gives an amazing parable about 3 individuals and their Lord, their God, their leader, their master, leaving them charged with a certain amount of talents. Now, talents in this parable meant money, but talent could also mean your actual gift and talent, the special ability that God has, that gave you, the way that you do certain things that nobody else on the planet can do, the way you do them. He gave one 5 talents, gave one 2 talents, and gave one 1 talent. And he went away on a journey. When he came back from his journey, he demanded a report of these 3 servants. And the one servant says, hey, master, I know you are a hard man, and I know you reap where you have not sown. So because of that, I took the 5 talents that you gave me to the marketplace and I made them 10. He said, well done. And then he demanded a report of the guy he gave the 2 talents to. And he said the same thing, because I know you, master, you are a hard man. And I'm paraphrasing, by the way, so don't you Bible thumpers, don't jump on me about this, right? You are a hard man, and you reap where you have not sown. And because I know that about you, I took the talents that you left in my care, that you gave me stewardship over, I took them to the marketplace and made them 4. He said, well done. And then he demanded a report of the person that he left 1 talent with. And he said, because I know you are a hard man and you reap where you have not sown, I took the talent that you gave me stewardship of and I buried it so I could make sure that I had it when you return. And again, that's a complete paraphrase, right? You guys can go look up the story in the Bible yourself. And the master got utterly and completely fired up, upset. You just told me that you know that I'm a hard man. You just told me that you know that I like to reap where I have not sown. And yet you buried my talent when you should have taken it to the marketplace and tried to make it double. But because you didn't, I'm going to take that talent, I'm going to give it to somebody else. How many of you guys are burying your talent? Some of you guys can't even comment what your number 1 passion is because you're afraid of what other people on this stream and reading the comments later on are going to think about you. That's why that guy buried the talent. He's afraid. Now, they all knew the same thing about the master. But what was the difference between servant number 1 with the 5, servant number 2 with the 2, and servant number 3 with the 1? It was their perspective. Listen, man, this dude don't play no games. I better do something with this gift that he gave me. So when he returns, I'm going to be able to say, this is what I did. How many of you guys are burying your talent, your gift, the one thing that's going to make room for you at the top? You're burying it because you're afraid of what you think other people are going to think if you pursued that thing. Man, I went to school, I got this degree in this particular area, but I absolutely hate going to work and doing this. I want to go over here and do this. But what my mama gonna think? This job is literally killing me, and I would love to go over here and do this. But what my wife gonna say? Man, if we go back to our quote of the day from Harley Davidson, when writing the story of your life, never let anyone else hold the pen. So, what's your number one passion? That's the question of the day. Put QOTD, give us your answer, and you're going to be entered into a drawing to win a free vacation. I got to give you guys this too. If you want to attend a workshop that I'm doing next Tuesday night, where I'm going to be teaching you how to turn your intellectual capital, your knowledge, into intellectual property, like books, courses, workshops, creating coaching programs. If that is you, then I need you to comment workshop so I can get you the link. Now, it's not free, right? Because I've learned that people don't value free. It's $47. It's $47. But when you walk away from that event, you will have the tools, the resources, and the training to turn your knowledge, your experience, your expertise into digital products that you can then market, sell, build a brand around, and start getting paid from your gifts, talents, and special abilities. So comment workshop, and I'm going to shoot you that link. And if you want a discount code, then you should be in my group, Wealth Creation Playbook. Inside my Wealth Creation Playbook group, I've got a special discount code for everybody in that group where you can get a significant amount off the $47. So go join the group and grab that discount code. So what questions should you be asking yourself if you're thinking about turning your passions into a serious profit business, right? Well, are you in position? Do you really want to do this, right? What kind of commitments can you make, right? What has been holding you back? What do you need to overcome, right? Now let's talk about how you identify those passions, right? How do you identify those passions that could become profit business? She said, how do I find the group? Let me post the link to the group in here real quick. It is facebook.com/groups/wealth creation playbook. All right, I think that is right. Wealth creation. If you just do a search on Wealth Creation Playbook group, you'll see it. But that link should get you right there. All right. So let's talk about a couple different ways, questions you can ask yourself to help you develop or define your passion. Right. So of course, we're going to ask, what are you most passionate about? What do you absolutely love to do? Right. See, some of us, because we're so good at some of these things, because we actually love them, we don't see any value in them. But if you keep commenting your passion, I'm going to show you the value in your passions here towards the end of the show. What are you most passionate about? What do you absolutely love to do? What are you really, really good at naturally? See, sometimes we get good at things because of repetition, but there are some things that, man, we were just good at since as far back as we could remember, right? As far back as we could remember, I've always wanted to sow a good word in somebody's life. I always wanted to lift somebody up with my words. Always. As far back as I can remember. Right? What are people constantly asking you to help them with? See, this goes back to you not seeing the value in yourself. But if somebody is always asking you, hey, Cortez, can you help me with my website? Hey, Cortez, can you help me come up with a name for this product, this business? Hey, Cortez, can you help me with my logo? I kind of know what I want to look like. Hey, Cortez, can you help me, write my book, get my thoughts out? Hey, Cortez, can you help me do my social media better? Hey, Cortez, can you help me start my business? What are people always asking you to help them with? What are you always asking people, or what are people always asking you to help them with? That's a clue, right? And let me just say this. Let me just say this. Because some of us have this problem. We don't know how to receive the compliment of our well-doing. Somebody says, man, this helped me tremendously. I appreciate you. And you say, oh, no, it's no big deal. No, it is a big deal. You just helped transform their life. Hey, man, I need to pay you for this, man, because it just blessed my life. No, don't do that. No, you don't need to pay me nothing. I just love help. No, you just killed that person's blessing. Because the book I read says those who bless me will be blessed. So when somebody is trying to bless me, I used to say, no, it's all good. No. And didn't realize I was killing their blessing. When we realize why and how we were actually created, see, most of us think that we were created to be independent. No, man. Some of us have gotten into a place where we have become completely dependent. No, we weren't created to be dependent either. The way God put this whole world together is so that every being created is designed to be interdependent. That's why the plant gives me oxygen and my carbon dioxide goes back to the plant and gives it life. We're designed to be interdependent. And because we don't see the value in our gifts and abilities, when someone else sees that value, we often want to downplay it. Even if they try to bless us, we deny the blessing. We don't want to receive the blessing, not realizing that we're killing their blessing. Somebody wants to bless your life, you got to let them. You know, that whole law of sowing and reaping, they're trying to bless their life. They're trying to sow into you, but you're rejecting the seed. How the heck are they going to get a harvest for a seed that you rejected? I just had to say that. Sorry, yeah. We kind of off a little bit. So here's another question you ask when you're trying to get to your passion. You're trying to assess your passions, right? What do you lose track of time doing? What do you lose track of time doing? There's certain things that you do, and because you love it so much, you get so wrapped up, you get so involved that hours go by and you don't even realize it. That's a clue. That's your passion calling out to you, saying, hey, we need to be going this way. 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 But you keep saying, my job said I got to go this way. And because I got to go this way to get a paycheck to feed my family, your passion is saying, no, just trust me on this. Just trust me on this. Yeah, it's going to be scary. Yeah, we might have to miss a meal or two, but trust me on this. If we continue to go this way, we're going to run right into our purpose. And when we run into our purpose that God created us for, we're going to find all the provision that we need. But we keep putting down our passion because we're chasing a dollar to feed ourselves today. This is why I'm so big on building generational wealth. Because when my grandchildren come into the world, they won't know what it's like to have to chase a dollar. From day one, they're pursuing their passions. That's the gift that I want to give my children and my grandchildren. From day one, you don't know what it's like to have to chase a dollar because your dad, your granddad, your great granddad followed his passion. It led him to his purpose. His purpose created these provisions that built an empire. So when you were born into wealth. So you don't know what it's like to chase a dollar. Every day you wake up, you actually get to go after whatever it is your heart's desire until you stumble into your purpose, and then you're going to live that. Imagine not waiting until you are 40 or 50 years old, 60 years old to unlock or discover your purpose, but you found it at 5. Imagine it didn't take you 75 years to realize why you were created. You figured that thing out when you were 10. And you start walking in it from 10 years old for the next 80 years. I'm just saying, man, just a little something I've been working on. So you got to get to your passion project. And you got to stay in that passion project until eventually you want to cross over, right? Okay, this just feels right, right? How many of you guys have been there, right? It's not bringing me any money right now, but man, this just feels right. This podcast ain't bringing me a whole lot of money right now, but man, I'm telling you, this just feels right. So I'm going to keep on pursuing it. Keep on walking this road. I'm going to keep on getting up every morning, loving on y'all, sharing with y'all, pouring into y'all, because I know the seeds that I'm sowing into your life, my grandchildren are going to reap. Yeah, I know all about the seeds that I sow. My grandchildren are going to reap. Right? So what do you lose track of time doing? Right? When do you find yourself in a state of flow? Right? I don't know if y'all noticed, but that last little 2-minute run, oh man, it made the hairs on my back stand up. I found myself in a state of flow. It's like, oh, that feels good, right? How often do you get to that place? It's hard to get to that place sometimes when you're on a job you don't love. It's hard to get to that place sometimes when you feel a sense of insignificance, right? Some of you guys got careers where you feel significant. You may not get into the state of flow often, but you're doing something that makes you feel significant, and that's cool. And I'm telling you, if you can follow that passion and learn to create a little sustainable income from that passion, it's going to walk you right into your purpose, man. And when you start walking in that purpose, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I'm saying it's going to be fulfilling. I'm saying it's going to be rewarding. I'm saying all your provisions are going to be met. I'm saying you ain't going to want for nothing, because that ain't how God operates. I'm going to tell you to do something. I'm going to give you an assignment, but while you're doing the assignment, you got to figure some other stuff out. You got to figure out how you're going to eat. No, this assignment is going to feed you. This assignment is going to provide a place for you to live. Do the assignment, and the assignment is going to create the relationships and the networks that you need. Do the assignment, and the assignment is going to make sure that you have a car to drive. The assignment is going to make sure that you have money to send your kids to private school if that's what you want. Do the assignment. But we can't get to the assignment because we walk away from our passion at a very young age, and that's by design. That's a whole nother talk. Y'all might need to go check out my talk on You're Broke by Design. That's by design. Two things that school is designed to do. Right now, this has no disrespect to anybody who's a teacher, an educator, loving on our babies. You're just in a system that won't allow you to be great. Two things school is designed to do: kill your ability to think critically. Number one, killing your genius. Two things it's designed to do. Right? Kill your ability to think critically and get you off your passion early and chasing a dollar early. Get a job, get a job, get a job. All of this that we're doing in school is so that you can get a job, get a job, get a job. That's by design, man. That's a whole nother thing, man. We'll talk about that some other time. Chapter number 3 in this book, validate your side hustle. Why is it so important to validate your side hustle? How will you validate your side hustle? This is where you sit around and you talk to folks. This is you sit around and you get a podcast like this and you start listening and saying, man, wait a minute. I didn't even realize that every time I start doing this, I just completely lose track of time. It's a passion. You might want to pursue that a little further. You might want to investigate a little bit. Man, I didn't even realize that, man, every day somebody come and ask me to help them with this because they see your genius even when you don't. That's a sign you might need to pursue that. You might need to investigate that a little bit. Right? It's how you validate the hustle. People around you are telling you. They're telling you. If people around you are saying, hey, do you mind if I pick your brain for a minute? They're telling you you have some value. You have some value. But here's one of the biggest problems that we face. We don't value ourselves. One of the biggest challenges we face is that we haven't learned to value ourselves. And as a result, it's hard for us to invest in ourselves, to strengthen this passion, to bring out the best in us. It's hard to invest in anything you don't value. Right? Why does one person own a Mercedes-Benz for 2 years and year 3 is not worth anything? And then somebody owns a Ford Taurus and it's worth 10 times what the Mercedes-Benz is after the same 2 years. Because the person who owned the Benz didn't value it, so they didn't invest in the upkeep and the care of it. The person who owned the Ford Taurus did, so they got the oil change every 3,000 miles because they valued it. They put the armor all on the dash so the dash didn't get beat up by the sun because they valued it. They put the tire shine on the tires and they kept the tire air pressure checked because they valued it. They put seat covers over the seats. They wouldn't let nobody smoke in their car because they valued it. And because they valued it, it held its value. Are you valuing yourself enough to invest in yourself? That's the question, man. That is the question, my friend. So we're running out of time, man. Normally I do What Say Ye, where I give you guys a shout out. Let's see. Let's do a little What Say Ye on the Cortez Hustle Show. Validate Your Side Hustle says Shiro. Shiro is with us today. She said, I don't even operate in the education system the way it's designed. You can't. You can't. Because them babies gonna suffer if you do. Lord, she says. Fire says, Big Boy 357, right? Rejecting the seed. Help me do better, man. Yeah. I'm the same way, man. That hyper independence attitude that we have a lot of times. I got it. No, you don't. Let me help you, and then you'll get it. Right? A good lesson today. I appreciate that, Shiro. Shiro says, question of the day, success is also my passion, right? Helping people succeed. Let's see. Yeah, man, this is a good one. We don't know how to receive the compliment. Yeah, but that goes back to our post-traumatic slave syndrome, right? That if you listen to Dr. Joy Degruy, she talks extensively on that. Why we reject the compliment, right? Because in receiving the compliment, a lot of times the compliments came from the master. Oh, that's a strong boy you got right there. Oh no, this little weakling. Why is the mom saying her boy is a weakling? Because if she validates that he's a strong boy, she know the master is going to take him early. So she tries to downplay his strengths, and that has carried on to us to today. It's crazy, right? How all of that stuff affects us, right? I've always been good at academic success. Yeah, man. You got to define your passions. So we're going to do a part 2 to this on this coming Friday. So tomorrow I got a special guest coming on. Nancy Jordan from Biz by Faith is going to stop by and talk about a little bit more on this subject, right? Your business that God gave you. So we're going to talk heavily about that. So I got to give you guys my answer to the question of the day, but I've actually been giving you my answer to the question of the day this whole time. So if you answer the question of the day, you get entered into a drawing, enter QOTD, and then give your answer. The question for today is, what is your number one passion? My number one passion, guys, is empowering other people. You guys wouldn't believe how much study I do, not for me, but for you. So I can bring you some empowering information. A lot of the stuff I learn, a lot of stuff I study, I'll never execute on any of that stuff. But you know how I learn it? Because I'm put here to empower other people. So I learn it for you. That's why I'm put here, right? I make connections with other people, not for me, for you. Because I figured it out that my passion and my purpose is to empower others. And what is the best way that I could do that on a mass scale is to build me a media company, a media empire that's going to rival one day Ted Turner and Walt Disney. Yeah, y'all think CNN got it going on? Y'all think ABC and Fox got it going on? Man, listen, when I tell you, because I figured out what my purpose is to empower people. How can I do that on a massive scale? Media allows me to touch the world, and I can fulfill my purpose by building a media empire that rivals Ted Turner and Walt Disney, so that I can do what I've been called on this planet to do, which is empower you. So that's question of the day, brought to you by MonetizeMyLifeAcademy.com. If you are not part of the Monetize My Life Academy mastermind, where you're trying to learn how to do digital marketing on the next level, that's what the mastermind is all about, ladies and gentlemen. So that is the Cortez Hustle Show for today. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Until I talk to you next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. And more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.